Hola YouTube, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Dariani, and if you're new here, bienvenidos. So it is September, so mid-September is the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month, but also September is an important month for me because it is also PCOS Awareness Month. I am bypassing all the videos that I recorded in North Carolina to record and put out this video. Why? Because PCOS is that important to me. In case you guys don't know, I believe last year I opened up about my condition. I suffer from PCOS. So in this video, because it is PCOS Awareness Month, I want to talk about PCOS, about my experience, and I hope that this video goes well because typically I write out all the things that I want to talk about, but in this video I am literally winging it all. So with all that being said, let's get started. So as I said, September is PCOS Awareness Month, and PCOS stands for Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome, and I'm going to read a little bit about it and then share parts of my story. Obviously I don't know it all about PCOS, so the little things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys is the little bit that I know and also parts of my experience with PCOS. So PCOS, Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome, it's a hormonal disorder causing enlarged ovaries with small cysts in the outer edges of your ovaries. Okay, I am shaking, and forgive me if I read this a little bit off. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. All right, the cause of PCOS isn't well understood, but it may involve a combination of genetic and environmental factors. PCOS is a disorder involving infrequent, irregular, or prolonged menstrual cycles and often excess male hormone levels. The ovaries develop numerous small collections of fluid called follicles and may fail to regularly release eggs. PCOS affects a woman's ovaries, the reproductive organ that produces estrogen and progesterone. I hope I said that right. The exact cause of PCOS is unknown. There is evidence that genetic plays a role. Several other factors may play a role in causing PCOS. Several other factors also play a role in causing PCOS, such as higher levels of male hormone called androgen. High androgen levels prevent ovaries from releasing eggs, aka ovulation, which causes irregular cycles. There are 4 types of PCOS: insulin resistant PCOS, inflammatory PCOS, hidden cause PCOS, and pill-induced PCOS. Treatments consist of hormones. Treatments include birth control to regulate periods, a medication called metformin to prevent diabetes, statin, I hope I said that right, statins to control high cholesterol, hormones to increase fertility, and procedures to remove excess hair. All right, so with all that being said, as you guys know, I found out that I had PCOS back in 2017. Back then, there wasn't a lot of research about it. There wasn't a lot of information about it. So back then, I was pretty much told that I have PCOS and that I most likely will have issues having a child, which to a certain degree that is true. But fast forward to now, obviously there are certain things or certain changes that can be done in order to accomplish such things. I know I opened up before on my channel about having a miscarriage, but obviously I don't open up about everything on my channel. But after that experience, I actually experienced more miscarriages, and I hate talking about it because it affects me, and I'm gonna try my best to get through this video without getting emotional. And yes, this is how important this is for me, because this is something that I'm dealing with, and in the same token, this is something that I am trying to learn how to live with it and also help myself. So PCOS is a huge umbrella, and it affects people differently. The first time I actually knew of a person that suffered from PCOS was Teen Mom. Yes, Teen Mom. I forgot her name. I think it's Macy. Let me find out because I don't want to say the wrong name. Okay, so yeah, so I was correct. Macy has spoken openly for years about PCOS, both on and off the show. Yes, so up until I found out that Macy had PCOS, I felt like I was dealing with it silently because I couldn't relate to anyone. Seeing first that she had PCOS, I realized that what I was told is not really true. I actually believe that PCOS affects a lot more women than the statistics show. I think they say that 1 in 10 women, but fast forward to now, I realize that PCOS affects a lot of women. I am now aware of so many people that suffer from this syndrome, and to a certain degree I am grateful for that because I am able to relate, you know, to the people that suffer from PCOS, and I'm also able to learn from them as well. So what does PCOS feel like? To me, it feels like it's a debilitating syndrome because so I found out that I have a combination of the different types of PCOS. So it turns out that part of my PCOS actually started from, I don't want to say excessive, but from using birth control at a young age, which is funny because typically they recommend birth control for you to treat PCOS. But so last year, or actually it was this year, yeah, we are in September, so earlier this year I decided that I wanted to go to a doctor to figure out what it is that is going on with me and how to help myself, and especially after all the miscarriages. So upon my doctor doing a hormonal check on my blood, which is the first time that has been ever done for me, she said, okay, if you have PCOS, I want to confirm it. So she did blood work to test my levels. So I have an uncontrollable or a high amount of testosterone in my body, and that is why I have a lot of the side effects that I have. So yeah, let that sink in, okay? I am a female, and just finding out that I have an excessive amount of testosterone, which is a male hormone, in my body, imagine how that freaking feels, okay? So with PCOS, I am constantly feeling tired. The tiredness is called adrenal fatigue. So certain hours of the day, my body just feels super tired, super exhausted, that I can literally fall asleep anywhere. Another thing about PCOS, it affects my self-esteem because a lot of the symptoms that I experience makes me not feel like a woman, and that makes me feel hopeless. And with that feeling of hopelessness, I also feel depressed, and also with the hormonal imbalance, that is another symptom of PCOS, which is depression, which honestly is my least symptom of PCOS, because the other stuff I feel like to a certain degree I can deal with, but dealing with depression I think is more debilitating than the condition itself. Another thing about PCOS is feeling like nothing works for your acne. Luckily for me, I only have acne prone skin, but when I was younger I did experience a little bit of acne. So trust me when I tell you I have tried the Proactive, I have tried a lot of stuff for my acne. But fast forward to now, I don't have a lot of breakouts unless it's, you know, around that sensitive time of the month, or if I'm super duper hormonal. But the main thing that I suffer from is a super duper oily skin. So for example, I have makeup on right now. I literally did my makeup before I started this video. Within an hour or so, I'm literally going to start shining and getting oily around my nose area and around my forehead area, which is called your T-zone area. If I don't blot or powder up a little bit within an hour, after an hour and a half, I'm just going to be a grease ball. Like, it is insane. And I've been to a dermatologist. I've gone through the recommendations of the dermatologist of using mattifying products that only treat certain things, but my oily skin still persists. Another thing with PCOS is dealing with the uncontrollable or uncontrollable symptoms, which in my case is the hormonal aspect of it. So like I said earlier, I have an extreme hormonal imbalance. So with that, I have they call it male pattern baldness, which is I have thinning of my hair in certain areas, and I also have what it's called hairotism, which is excessive male hair like growth, or excessive hair growth, to put it simply. The mood swings, it's insane. The fatigue is insane. And also with the fatigue, I learned that I am not supposed to expose myself to a lot of sunlight, because sunlight adds on to my fatigue. So my doctor told me that I'm only allowed to have or expose myself to 20 minutes of sunlight, which is insane. But now I have to be mindful of my intake of sunlight, which is, to me, another uncontrollable symptom is the irregular periods. So with a female, not having a cycle every month obviously takes a toll on your body. When you are not having a cycle, you are not able to ovulate. And just for me in general, not having the typical girl processes pretty much makes me feel self-conscious. Like, honestly, it doesn't make me feel womanly, which brings me to my next point. Another thing about PCOS is having body image struggles. So one of the characteristics of PCOS is having I think they call it an apple body shape or something like that, but pretty much not having like curves, pretty much having oh god, how can I explain it? So pretty much your abdomen area being round like an apple, or having like a boxy shape, you know. And all those things, for me, it doesn't feel womanly. Like, I'm a girl, I want to feel like a girl. And I feel like when it comes to dating and oh god, okay, and I feel like when it comes to dating and it comes to just dealing with people in general and letting them know that you have this syndrome, a lot of people take it lightly, but this is not something to be taken lightly. You know, this is something that affects me and affects a lot of women on a daily basis all over. And back to what I was saying, for me, not feeling womanly messes with me. Like, people don't understand that PCOS can mess you up mentally and emotionally, and as well as physically. And the last thing I'm going to say is, dealing with PCOS also feels like you are not understood, and for the reasons that I just said. I have a partner that I am grateful to have him in my life, but a lot of the times I do feel like I am not understood. Granted, when I have hairs sticking out, which I'm gonna get to in a little bit, I could say, hey, can you please tweeze these hairs out, and he would do it, you know. But just even having to ask for that, or even having to go through that, is like, you know. So now let's bring this back to my experience. For me, the symptoms that I deal with regularly is irregular periods. My periods come when it wants to come. The excessive oiliness, I mentioned that. The excessive hair growth. So in my case, I get hair around like my chin area, and I feel like lately the hair is a lot more. I literally pick out hair or tweeze out hairs every 2 to 3 days, which is ridiculous. I get eyebrow threading and upper lip threading because if I don't, especially when I wear makeup, you can tell, you know. Luckily in this area it's not so much. The problem that I have with it is that the little bit of hair that does grow is thick and it's very dark, so if you are paying attention you can see it. Okay, so it's very late at night, so don't mind the oiliness of my face. I am actually about to do like my nighttime routine, but I wanted to take this time to record some of the things that I'm experiencing right now when it comes to my skin. So one of the main things with my skin is the discoloration in my neck. It's something that I'm very sensitive about, because prior to me finding out that I had PCOS, I had family members that will pretty much make fun of me about my neck. Like, some of them will pretty much say that I was dirty, literally, because from a distance my neck just looks dark, so they just assume like, oh, you're not scrubbing well. And it affected me so much that sometimes I would shower and I would scrub so hard until literally my skin will be red. So I'm very sensitive about that, because that kind of never went away. So it's something that I sometimes do struggle with. So majority of the time, especially in the winter time, I wear a lot of like turtleneck and stuff, because I am very self-conscious about. Last year I found out that hyperpigmentation or discoloration of my neck is a sign of pre-diabetes, especially with me due to my PCOS. So at least I have an answer about that. Another problem that I suffer from is hirsutism, which is excessive hair growth. So I have unwanted hair growing in areas of my body where as a female you kind of don't want to experience that. Let me fix this camera. So I have hair that grows from certain parts of my neck. So for example, right here, I don't know if you guys could see that. Let me see. So right here there is a, like, it looks like a dark spot right there. That dark spot literally grows hair all the time. Now, how do I know that I'm about to grow hair? So typically it starts to irritate, or it starts to itch, or it forms into a bubble, and that's how I know that a hair is about to grow. Now I have a pimple right up here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So now, trying to understand like my body and the processes that it goes through, now I know what like a pimple like this means. So today I touched my neck and I felt that there is a hair there that's already starting to poke. So typically I use a tweezer to pull out my hair, because if you use like a razor, you're pretty much just cutting part of the hair and it grows out quicker. But when you pull it, you're pulling it from the root, so it does take a little bit longer to grow out. Now, the hair on my face. So I have literally a concentration area where like the hair tends to want to grow, which I think I'm still zoomed in. Okay, so I have specific areas where hair wants to grow. So if you can see right now, I have makeup on, but you can see it because I put very minimal makeup. But in this area right here, that looks like pretty much acne scars right here, I tend to get a concentration of hair. Another area is literally right up here, and sometimes I get it on this area, but it's very rare. But the main like concentration is right in this area. And typically, how do I know? Well, one of my biggest signs is just literally running my hand right through it and pulling it out. Sometimes I pretty much just know it. Like I feel like I feel it. I don't know if it's mental or what. So now the hair, I felt it earlier. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look in the mirror, try to pull it out and show you guys. Okay, so I got it. I'm gonna just pull it out, and I don't know if you can see. Let's see, right there. I show you the hair pretty much to show that this is something that I have to do, or that I do every on my neck. I mean, it takes a while to grow, but the ones right here, I kind of go every couple of days to see if like there's any like new growth to pull it out. Obviously I don't have to do it, but as a female it makes me uncomfortable, even knowing that the hair is there, and it makes me even more self-conscious knowing that somebody can spot it, especially, you know, somebody of the opposite sex. Like, what the heck, you know? I think I have, let me see if I felt another hair right here. Right here. Let's see if I can zoom in. I hope I still have it gripped. Okay, so right here, my hair, and let's see, focus. See, thick and dark. Like, imagine if you had a lot of this as a female. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. So yeah, so imagine like as a female you wanting to be feminine, you know, and have to deal with stuff like that. Like, it makes me self-conscious. It does lower my self-esteem, and honestly it doesn't help me feel sexy. Another problem with me is the weight issue. My weight fluctuates like crazy. I could go up, I could go down. Luckily I don't, when I do go up, I don't go past a certain number, and when I go down I also don't go too low. Like, I literally stay within one range, which is kind of good for me, but I just wish that I could just be in one freaking level, but obviously that's like non-existent for me. So when it comes to that, you are recommended to eat healthy and stuff like that. I can eat healthy for a week and gain 5 pounds. I can eat junk food for a week and lose 5 pounds. So it is not that simple, and people don't understand that, because when it comes to the weight gain, it's not just diet, it's also everything else. The hormonal aspect of it, the tired aspect of it. So it's just so much, and I feel like this video is going on for too long, so I'm going to reel it back real quick and just talk about some of the things that I have done to help me. So when I first found out, well, last year, was it last year? I think it was last year. I was put on medication which made me really sick. I was put on metformin, as well as Lord, I cannot remember the medication, and I sure can't pronounce it, but taking the medications together made me really sick. And at the time, I don't know if I got sick because I also didn't know that at the time I was pregnant, but fast forward to now, I am still taking metformin. Honestly, I don't take it the way I should, because in reality I don't really want to take it, and I hope my doctor is not watching because I'll be in trouble. But I've tried hormonal pills from my country to help with not just the hormonal imbalance but also my ovaries. Oh my gosh, my doctor actually wanted to do a tube test, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I am scared, because a tube test includes me being put under and them inserting a dye in my tubes to see if there might be like a blockage of something with my tube, which it would be nice to do it, but it is very scary. Also, the other problem with that is that it has to be done after a certain time after your cycle, but my cycle is irregular, so it is hard to even schedule that type of appointment. What else? I want to say so much more. I'll probably just make another video about this because it's getting too long. To close out this video, I'm going to say, oh, lastly, before I close out this video, one good thing that came out of this pandemic was me discovering TikTok. On TikTok, I found this lady who suffers from PCOS, and she gives advice on PCOS. Luckily, ever since that has happened, you know, I am reading vlogs, I am on these little groups, and I'm also constantly on Instagram reading about this stuff. So now I kind of have like a little community around me that helps me. But discovering this lady was really, really enlightening for me, because I got to see so much. So when it comes to PCOS, a lot of the things that is recommended is birth control, which honestly I do not recommend. Changing diet, so not eating dairy and not eating gluten. Okay, I don't know if I could ever go dairy free. I have tried going gluten free, but with that stuff I could only go but so long, especially when it comes to cooking for other people or going out to eat. Makes it very difficult. For the excessive hair growth, I did find out that I can do LASIK, so later on in life I'm definitely gonna look into that, because as a female, having facial hair or unwanted facial hair it's a no-go. So yeah, I can't think right now, because now I'm just focused on wrapping up this video. So I'm going to end this video here, because I've talked a lot, but I will most likely make a part 2. And if you could relate to this video, let me know your story. Help me out. Let's help each other out. You know, this has been a roller coaster of emotions, of everything for me. So with all that being said, let me close out this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, leave this video a thumbs up. If you have anything to add on to this video, comment down below, please, please, please. Okay, I will take any information or help that I can get. And if you're not subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Ciao.